video, I want to talk about how to maximize your apprenticeship. I truly believe that you can graduate from your pre-apprenticeship or your apprenticeship school on the exact same day, start with the exact same company with exactly the same crew as somebody else, and receive a completely different apprenticeship experience. So I'm going to show 7 keys that I know work to maximize your apprenticeship. I know they work because I've been there. I've done my apprenticeship, and these are some keys that I wish I had known years ago when I did my apprenticeship, but I think will help you understand a little bit better from the vantage point of a journeyman what it takes and what you can bring to the table to make your experience the best that it can possibly be. My name's Joe Prim. I'm not some trade advocate influencer. I'm not Mike Rowe. The difference between me and most of them is that I've been there. I still get up early in the morning, lace up my boots, show up to the job site early, and strap on my tools just like you're doing, day in and day out, fighting the weather, fighting the obstacles that get in our way every single day in the trades. But with my experience helping out apprentices as a journeyman, as a foreman, and as a superintendent, I have a different vantage point than you, and I hope that I can share some of my experience and knowledge that will help you really make the most of your apprenticeship and be more of an asset to the guys and the girls that you're working with. So, number 1, leave your feelings at the gate. It's really hard when you're just starting out as an apprentice to understand the world that you're getting into. It's a world of unwritten rules and a lot going on. There is a lot of chaos because you're just starting out or you're just trying to understand what's going on, and there's so much going on that can become really overwhelming. And then when you lump on top of that people teasing you, people giving you a hard time, and don't get me wrong, some of that stuff can get malicious and some of that stuff is way out of line, and you kind of need to figure out where it's at. But I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of it is just a test to see who you are and see if you belong. There's a really good video by Jordan Peterson talking with Jocko about a guy in one of his books that was nicknamed Lunch Bucket. And Lunch Bucket had a really hard time with that nickname. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check out that video. But what he shares and what it comes down to is it's kind of a test. It's a test to see if you belong. It's a test to see if there's a little bit of friction coming your way, if you're going to be able to stand it. It's a test before the real friction, before the difficulties, before the hard times come. If you can tolerate a little bit of a challenge to who you are and what you understand and what you accept, if you're going to be able to keep going. And plus, it's a rough job, right? We're fighting a lot of obstacles each and every day. The more that we can add humor to the day, the better things can go. I remember when I was a first-year apprentice, I was framing and doing drywall, and every day, and I'm sure there was a lot of talk going on behind my back that I didn't understand at the time, but every day somebody would come up to me and ask me if I had a sister. And at first, it really riled me up. It frustrated me. It made me angry. Who are these guys asking me if I have a sister? Phase 1 is to laugh it off. Once you realize what it is, realize the sense of humor that's going on, realizing why they're teasing you about these things, and now you can have a little bit of a sense of ease. So the first step, if you can kind of laugh it off and chuckle it off, you'll be all the better. But if you can step it up a level, and you can throw something back, like I remember I would have my imaginary sister and I would say something like, "Me, you don't want to meet my sister," and the tension would be broken. And these guys would realize that I had caught on to the shenanigans and knew what was going on, and they would laugh it off, and the other guys would laugh because I kind of got this guy and what he was saying, and it eased some of the tension, but at the same time, made it more enjoyable for everybody. So leave your feelings at the gate. Leave your ego at the gate when you show up each day and go along for the ride. Laugh this stuff off. This is part of being the team. This is part of being accepted into the crew. Number 2, don't beat yourself up. Early on, your days are filled with failures. And even as you move up in your levels as an apprentice and as a journeyman, you're still going to have those challenges. You're still going to have those days of failure. You're still going to have those things that you struggle with. Don't get down on yourself. Give yourself some room to fail. Give yourself an opportunity to grow. The growth comes through the failings. If all you needed to do in the trades was just read a book or watch a YouTube video, everybody would be a journeyman, right? But that's part of the struggle of learning a skill, a real trade, a skill, is that there's no hack for time. It takes time, it takes reps, it takes those failures. Don't give up on yourself. Don't quit. Don't get too down on yourself. Keep coming back. Rinse and repeat over and over again. And I guarantee you, you will get it. And things will start to slow down and things will become more simple for you. Number 4, when you're young, just getting into this business and you start looking around you, be careful who you mimic. Be careful who it is that you choose to follow, whose examples that you choose to follow, because there are a lot of bad examples in this industry, right? Whether it's drugs or alcohol or how money is spent, how people take care of themselves, right? What they eat. The things that you see early on as negative traits in people, let those be an example to you. And you don't need to move away from those people. Most of them are good people struggling and trying to get by day in and day out, and some of them are phenomenal at what they do. But one of the secrets that I've learned in this industry is the people that struggle in this industry to stay durable and last and have longevity are those that are overweight. So get your sleep, watch what you eat, stay away from the overdoing the drugs and the alcohol and the monster drinks, and keep yourself as solid as you can. Go work out, take care of your health, and make that a priority. And then you will be able to last longer in this industry. And the longer you last in this industry and the more experience you have and the more exposure you have, the more opportunities will open up to you. Number 4, listen carefully. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Nobody should expect you to know anything on any given day other than what has already been taught to you and what you've demonstrated that you know how to do. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask people how they do things. I remember a lot of times I'd be asked to do something and maybe I was a little fuzzy on it. Maybe I had only done it once or twice, and asking, well, how do you do this? Well, of course, any smart-ass journeyman's going to respond, you don't know how to do this? And my response was always, I know how I do it. I want to know how you do it. And by simply throwing it back their direction and giving them an opportunity and showing that you're interested in knowing how they do it can completely change that dynamic. Also, I wanted to mention, I apologize for filming in my car. I'm working on getting a studio set up, but before that gets set up, I was kind of excited about getting started with this channel and didn't want to wait. So if you can deal with me recording in the car for a little while, I assure you the studio's in process and we'll get this cleaned up and a little bit more professional for everybody. Number 5. This is the biggest complaint I hear about apprentices, and I'm sure that you've heard it many, many times, but it is a priority. Show up early. It is imperative to be there at the very least on time. Even as journeymen, we often joke about getting to the job site being the hardest part of the day. After that, it's just doing the same thing each and every day that we know how to do and have done 1,000 times before. Show up on time. It shows respect for everybody else that you're working with. It shows respect for the company that you're working for. And let me let you in on a little secret about being late. As you show up day in and day out, you build up collateral, I like to call it. It's kind of like each day you show up, you're dropping a penny in the piggy bank. At 100 days, 150 days, if you get a flat tire or something comes up, a sickness in the family, or things like that start to happen, people understand because you're there day in and day out. And you've proven yourself over and over again. So when those slip-ups happen, an alarm doesn't go off, or like I said, you got a sick kid and you end up accidentally getting up late. Where I come from, where I did my apprenticeship and where I work now in Chicago, the tradition always has been, if you show up late, you better show up with a box of donuts. And if you show up with a box of donuts, that's a sign that everything is cool. You're taking responsibility for screwing up and showing up late, no matter if it was a flat tire, no matter if it's you forgot to fill up with gas the night before, or you had to stop and get something for lunch, whatever it is. If you show up with a box of donuts, it's kind of like a peace sign. It's kind of like giving something on the altar of your ego saying, look, I screwed up. I was wrong. I apologize to everybody. Here's my peace offering. Number 6, don't stop moving. I remember back in the day, as I started with my apprenticeship, probably one of the best pieces of advice my grandfather gave me was, don't stop moving. He said, nobody is going to complain if you have a broom in your hand. And I've kept that idea going and continuing forward into my career as a journeyman and a foreman and a superintendent, to always keep moving, always look busy, always be involved the best that I can to keep the project moving forward. And still to this day, a lot of times I'm vacuuming off the table saw, I'm doing cleanup, I'm keeping moving. The moment things slow down, your day slows down, things begin to drag, keep moving. Find something to do. Number 7, this is my bonus tip, and I think something that really can change the dynamic and really be the icing on top, and that's gratitude. Show gratitude. Don't be afraid to say thank you when somebody shows you a new tip or trick or hack that they've been doing and utilizing for years in this business. Be grateful. We need to realize, and you need to realize as an apprentice, that what these guys are teaching and training you, what they've got up in this head, what they've earned over years and years of experience, they don't have to share that with you. They don't have to let you know. There's nothing that holds them to sharing this hard-earned and hard-learned knowledge. And I think the key to learning that knowledge a lot of times is simply being grateful that they're showing you something, grateful that they've treated you well, grateful that they've taught you something that you wouldn't have known, or showed you a little bit different direction, or showed you some insight that you wouldn't have been able to see otherwise, or would have taken you years to learn. So those are my 7 keys to maximizing your apprenticeship. I hope that these resonate with you and that you can fit them into this next week and these next years of your apprenticeship as you learn and grow and become phenomenal at what you do. Because, right, that's always the goal, to be the best. You want to be the best? Instill these 3 keys into your daily practice, and you will see a difference. So that's all I got. Get back to work.